Buongiorno everyone, my name is Angelyn Talino, and this is my task number 1. In this video, I am going to share with you about my chosen country, which is France. I am going to share about their educational system, the programs or courses or the curriculum offered for education, and also the qualification for teachers, benefits for teachers, and of course, the issues and concerns for teachers in France. But before that, let me share some background about France.
Sur le chemin de l'école, nous avions 12 ou 13 ans, cheveux blonds et tête folle.
France is known globally as having both competitive and exceptional quality of education. With a history dating back to the late 18th century, the French education system has a long tradition of excellence and is widely recognized as one of the best in the world. Today, France accredited schools outside of the France are monitored and regulated by the France Ministry of Education to pro-educative students with top quality and French education outside of the France. Now let's go to the first one, which is the educational system. In France, education is mandatory and free from 3 to 16 years old. Access to higher education is dependent on achieving the baccalaureate national diploma. The French education system consists of 3 stages, which is the primary education, secondary education, and the higher education. And most French elementary and secondary schools, as well as a large number of universities, are public institutions that have highly centralized administrations. Now, this is the general overview of the French education system. The French education system is characterized as a strong state presence in the organization and funding of education. On a national level, it is governed in the Ministry of National Education and the Ministry of Higher Education. Research and innovation in a general framework set by the legislator, which accordingly to the Constitution, lays down the basic principles of the education from the Article 34 of the Constitution of 4 October 1958. The official language in education is, yes, French. This state education is free and secular. And according to the French Education Code, education is mandatory for every child between 3 to 16 years. Now, I just mentioned about the stages of French education system. Now, the first one is the preschool education is provided in nurseries from pupils ages to 3 to 6 years. Attended by almost all children from age of 3, preschools are primary schools comprise primary education. It falls under the responsibility of the Ministry of the National Education. Now the second one is the primary education. This is provided in primary school. This primary education is the pupils who age 6 to 11 years. Primary education lasts 5 years, and at the end of the primary education, pupils automatically progress to the next level of education, to college, to lower secondary school. Now the third one is the lower secondary education. This is provided in college or the colleges. These pupils age 11 to 15 years. Attending college is mandatory for all pupils. And at the end of this stage, Class Day 3-year pupils are presented by the Diplôme National Brevet, and which is exam that does not influence admission to higher secondary education, depending on the pupils' if academic record and future plans. They may be directed to a year to 10 class in a general and technological or vocational license, or the first year of vocational qualification. Now the second is programs or courses or curriculum for teacher education. In France, there are 10 master programs in education in France in 2024. Now this is the overview of their 10 master's programs. Those who pursue education as a career will undergo courses that are designed to train future educators. Fortunately, there is a wide variety of courses designed for students who wish to supplement any teaching credentials. These courses are offered at various institutes across the globe. First is the Master in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, or the MA in TESOL. This is offered in Horizons University. The Masters of Arts degree in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Language is designed for those interested in teaching English as a foreign language to children and adults in a variety of educational settings. The second is the Masters of Arts in International Education, and this is also offered in Horizons Universities. The MAID Masters of Arts in International Education is designed to draw early to mid-career professionals with at least 1 year of relevant experience in traditional and or international education field setting. The third is the MSc in Modeling of Neuronal and Cognitive System, and this is offered in the Universite Côte d'Ivoire UCA. This is a 2 years master programs on the modeling of neuronal and cognitive system. This is which is to design to the train on interdisciplinary researches of tomorrow. Though it is innovative monitoring approach, but it aims to encourage students to develop their natural curiosity and interdependence. The goal is to train active researchers at the crossroads of applied mathematics and cognitive sciences. Next is the MSc in Smart EdTech, or this is co-creativity and technology enhanced learning, and this is again also offered in Universite Côte d'Ivoire UCA. The MSc Smart EdTech addresses public, social, and economic issues in participative and creative way to build the education of tomorrow. And we are offering a program based of the disruptive pedagogy that is made possible by digital learning. This MSc program training activities in order to improve today's education for everybody to create the education of tomorrow. Next is the Master MIF Consulting and Engineering for Higher Education. This is offered in the University of Toulouse Paris. The objective of the program is to train professionals in university teaching able to support teacher researchers in their teaching activities and projects, more broadly capable of supporting institutions in their training and development policy on teaching aspects. Now, the Master in Teaching Education and Training Professor Documentalis. This is offered in the University of Rouen. Everyone thinks to this training because the student acquires culture of information, media, and digital technology essential today to exercise the professor-librarian profession. It develops skills to manage documentation and information century in middle and high school, and more generally an information and documentation systems and skills to teach media and information education and encourage students to read on all media. And now, the Master in Teaching Education and Training Profession Training of Teachers in Schools. This is offered in the University of Cowan, Normandy. The MIF Master in Training Practices and Engineering Training. This is training of trainers course in school environment is intended for people wishing to pursue a continuing education course to build and enhance expertise in analysis of teaching learning processes and training teachers. And also they offer a program of Master of Education Sciences, Engineering of Health, Education, and Therapeutic Education. This is also again offered in the University of Rowan. The summary of this program is design, implement, and evaluate a therapeutic patient education program or the TPE. Take into account in a long-term care and treatment the education, psychological, ethical, and social dimensions, knowing how to choose and use evaluation tools based on indicators relating to qualitative and quantitative approaches. And the last but not the least program offered in France is the Master of General Education in Vocational High Schools. This program is offered in the University of Montpellier, the Université de Montpellier. This program is specialty takes up the elements of general culture, knowledge of education systems, analysis of professional situations offered by teaching units dealing with the reference framework and direct them in learning link, explicitly, and the trades prepared. Now that's all the 10 programs offered in France in 2024. Now let's have the qualification for the teacher. What would be the qualification for teacher when you want to teach in France? Now, France represents as one of the most desirable destinations for the teaching English abroad due to the allure of learning French language, the distinctive high-class cuisine, wine, pastries, and the desserts, its vast history, and its beautiful landscape and architecture. If you considering teaching English in France, you will need to ensure and meet the following qualification. Now the qualification required to teach English in France, first is you need to pursue a career as a French teacher. Teacher must hold a bachelor degree in their subject of specialization as well as hold an education certification in foreign language education, preferably a master's. Second is native English. Native English proficiency is expected to find a TEFL job. To earn your teaching qualifications, you must pass the license exams in the teaching strategies and French language. The third one is English instructor. English instructors are normally required to have a bachelor degree and at least a year of relevant education experience and hold a TEFL of C or the CELTA certification. By the way, when we talk about TEFL, it is the Teaching English as a Foreign Language. Now, as I mentioned above, you need to hold a TEFL certification. This certification is required to teach English in France. Getting this certification will provide you with the relevant training and qualifications you need to get hired by a reputable school in France, and you should leave you're feeling confident in your abilities to your students. Second is have a bachelor degree in any field or major. This is this is required to teach English in France. Your bachelor's degree does not need to be in education, and it can be in any field. Either it is marketing, psychology, arts, or etc. Any 4 years diploma or bachelor's degree from an accredited university will satisfy these requirements, or 3 years if you studied in the UK, Australia, or New Zealand. If you are applying to teach English in France as you part of the TAPIF program, you must have completed at least 3 years of higher post-secondary education by the start date of the program. Now, as I mentioned again, be a native English speaker from the US, UK, Ireland, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, or South Africa preferred. You don't need to be a native English speaker to teach English in France. However, you will be expected to be fluent in English and speak at a native level to be considered for teaching jobs. Citizenship from the USA, Canada, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa is highly preferred. To apply for teaching jobs in France, you will be required to have the following documents available. First is the valid passport. Second is the international resume and cover letter. Third is the TFL certification. And the last one, of course, the student visa. Additional information about qualification for teachers, a health screening and or drug tests are not required to teach English in France. That's why France is a very nice country. Now let's have the benefits of the teacher. Now the common benefits or the common teacher's benefits. As an English teacher in France, you can expect to receive the following benefits. First is the health insurance, of course. Teachers are usually covered by the public health system through their employer. Second is the paid vacation. You will get 25 days of paid leave per year plus every other holiday on your working day. Example, Christmas, Easter, you have still a salary in that working day or holiday. Next one is the paid sick days. At least there are 20% of your salary will be paid out if you stay home for illness or the family reasons. However, this is paid at 750 euros per month in average gross income from 1 year or for 1 year. Now the last information that I shared with you is of course the issues and concerns of the teacher in France. Although France is a very nice country, but there is still an issues and concerns about the teacher who work in the country. First one is the school lack teachers. Classes overcrowded and teachers underpaid according to the reports. The abaya ban in schools has become a topic that has disrupted other issues in the French education system, such as a teacher shortage and overcrowded classrooms. Educational challenges in France. Whereas French education is prima facie accessible to everyone, as it is free from the start up until higher education, French people claim the French educational system knows many obstacles. They interviewed a French people who are still in the French education system, both private and public, and some who ended a long time ago, hoping to test the relevance of the claims. The most requiring obstacles that was mentioned was the teacher's status. Teachers are unpaid and undervalued. In turn, their quality of teaching criticized for being short, profuse, and unilateral. Many individuals with a French educational felt they had to follow the teacher's expectations perfectly and had no space for individuality or originality. Specifically, mental health is overlooked as students must work for a long hours. In the same vein, there is no psychological support or general encouragement as the French system is competition based and success is wholly put out to be the student's responsibility. Rather than being encouraged, once having reached a passing level, students are criticized for not being better. Concurrently, there is no understanding or tiredness, poor mental health or mental disorders as students are not expected to ask for help and are torn down when they do. Notably, the World Report identified disability rights in education as the main issue in 2022. In that, French integration rules for disabled children in education have been known for being largely confusing and disappointing, leaving parents unsupported. There is still progress to be made as integration in itself is not enough. For example, one interview recalled that some friends, parents of children with disabilities, regretted the lack of personnel in school to assist and protect their kids from bullying. Additionally, we can note the recent 2021 ban of Muslim bills for minors in schools, as well as accompanying parents. This updated ban follows older restrictions that have been poorly criticized as Islamophobic. And then, this ban holds a disproportionate weight in the Muslim girls attending school compared to their children. And most recently, French teachers have held one of the biggest education strikes in protest of the government's handling of COVID-19 measures in the educational sector. Reflecting on the aforementioned point of the inaccurate treatment of teachers, they complain about not being consulted in the government decisions, being expected to conduct hybrid courses without support, and not being replaced in case they fail or they fall ill. Now that's all for the issues and concerns for teachers in France.